I think we're ready. Are we rolling?
Yeah. All right. Episode 2 of the Off Air Podcast, this time featuring Adam Copeland. Adam Copeland, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Do I clap? Do you guys normally clap? Did you clap for Murph?
We didn't clap for Murph, so
I
this
think
could
we
be a
did.
new thing.
This could be a new thing.
I'd like you to clap.
Ready to talk some Kaminga?
Nope.
All right, there we go.
I was told there'd be no Kaminga.
I guess I'll rip this up then.
Yeah, there goes the agenda. We're going to talk rotations.
Before we start, this will be a new thing going forward. We have our resident amateur beer drinker here, Austin Scott. He the story behind him is he does not drink beer because he doesn't like the taste. Correct?
Yeah,
So-
don't like the taste. Don't like. Don't see the point in it. Really.
That's the point.
Okay, hold on. He also, like, there's other things there's things that everybody doesn't like, or like types of alcohol.
Sure.
I appreciate that.
This wasn't a compliment. We were in Seattle for week 1. Austin, JD, and I for Niners pregame and postgame, and Austin. I think JD bought us a round of shots at. You were there, right? You were there with us.
Seattle week
No,
1.
he was not there.
No, you weren't there. At the karaoke bar. No, he'd been to the
No,
karaoke
I heard
bar.
about this though.
Dude, but Austin refused to take the shot because he doesn't drink tequila. Were you drinking beer then?
No, I was not
That was,
drinking beer.
I recall that. You weren't
No
a beer
beer.
guy then.
No beer.
You're strictly a vodka cran guy.
Strictly vodka, cran, vodka.
You wouldn't take a tequila
cocktail.
shot?
I could take a tequila
Probably
shot.
better
I
he
just couldn't do
didn't
it then.
in a state, but yeah, he wouldn't drink tequila.
You
Which
don't
is
even
fine.
have to really taste
I wasn't all there at that moment.
Yeah,
I
that's
kind of
fine.
wanted to stick to the vodka.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of opposed to when people do that and are like, take the shot. You have to do it. I'm like,
I also think that's kind of messed
if
up.
you wanted to buy me a shot, just ask what I wanted. I would.
Yeah,
drink it.
you've told me this
Yeah.
one too.
I'm like, I'm down.
I'll
to
usually
take a shot
say a
with you.
JMO.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I
down to
want,
take
yeah.
one, but
I'm with that.
don't force.
Oh, so your only thing is let's do shots, but let's all get our own shot.
I'm just saying, like I really appreciate you buying the shot, but then don't berate me because I don't drink E and J.
Yeah.
Not that that's ever happened, but
Right. So our goal by the end of this entire endeavor of the Off Air Podcast is to get Austin Scott to like beer. So we're going to have him open up a beer, start drinking it. He's got to finish it by the end of the episode.
Oh man.
That's the game here. And we, in hopes that by the end of it, he builds up a taste by force
He will.
to like beer.
You would think this would be easy for me to drink an entire beer in like an hour span.
So
but
wait,
it
this is
sounds
the first one?
intimidating.
We
did
did
one a couple months
one a
ago.
while ago,
Or
but
like dress rehearsal.
it's on the cutting room floor. He finished the whole beer.
What was it?
Yeah, what was it?
I forget what it was. It
was
was
a
very
blonde
light.
ale.
It was like a
Blonde ale,
blonde,
right?
yeah.
He has to try because
a blonde ale.
He can say what he likes.
Austin, I think you are going to be surprised by how much this is.
You've hyped this up a
palatable
lot.
for
So
you. This is one of my favorite beers. in the
Austin,
world.
how many beers have you finished in your whole life?
the blonde ale. What was the drink we had on Friday night? What that you gave
wasn't a
me?
beer.
You gave me fucking shit for.
It was a
It
sour.
was the-
That was a
Sour,
Not a
bloody
shot top.
orange.
That was
Seemed
like a
like you
bloody
forced
orange.
that F, dude, just because we're on the internet. What
was Marcus'
Was it? Was it a?
recommendation?
Was it
It
a
was a
sour
blood
beer?
orange,
No,
sour.
it was like a wheat beer, orange. No, it was an IPA, but it was an orange beer. It was like a shot.
That
top.
counts.
All right, well, this one's going to be a Kona Big Wave. We're starting them off easy.
Mahalo.
Is it a race? Is it like me against him? Who finishes first?
No, it's just Austin's just going
Definitely
to
not.
finish it by the end of the episode. And if you want one just for fun,
Yeah, I'll do it.
I'll join you.
Jack's got to work.
take one.
No, Jack, you win.
Jack's got to
Sorry.
work.
Somebody's got to
initially-
drive this thing.
I initially tried to high horse it, but if everyone's having one, I actually have to.
No, you don't.
Well, they're down there. Yeah.
Liquid
have to.
Aloha.
Cheers, dude.
I'm in. Cheers.
Cheers, enjoy it.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, fellas.
And it is past
I ain't
noon,
sure
so
of that.
we're
You
good.
ain't even drinking it.
Can you open mine?
It's Thursday and it's past noon. My off days are start drinking at noon. You don't get to interrupt that. That's season 1 of
Ooh, I also made a
True Detective.
Season 1 with Cole. What was his name? The character's name?
I don't remember the characters. It's Woody and it's McConaughey.
Woody and McConaughey.
McConaughey says that.
We should do Lone Star.
This ain't bad.
It's ain't bad, right? It's a little sweet, right?
A
See what I'm
little
talking
sweet. Goes down easy.
about? Yeah.
Don't get that
It doesn't bark
really
at you.
bad. Like it doesn't bark. Yeah.
Doesn't bark at
Doesn't
you.
give you the bad aftertaste.
Just let it smell your hand, boy.
So with that underway, we'll start off with our guest here, Adam Copeland, former.
Should we clap?
To a really thrilling start. This podcast.
former.
He introduced me and then he was like, hang on, dude. Austin, this is Austin. He drinks beer.
We're going for a pretty fratty angle.
This
here.
is what the people want.
We're yeah.
This is what everyone's asking for. Okay. former PD. Why don't you give us?
What was your favorite month as PD?
The first one after.
the
one right after. Yeah.
after you stepped down.
All right. Yeah. What was the question?
What was your favorite season as PD of the two?
season of the two?
Like season of the weather.
I don't think I went 2 full seasons. I started in November and ended.
In May.
I think flamed out would be better. In May, yeah, it was like 5 months.
The question.
Yeah.
Just give us a quick summary of how you started here at KNBR, how you started as a intern and worked your way up now to where you are hosting the Drive Time Show.
I started in 2009 as an intern we're at the old building at 55 Hawthorne. And I'd just been like a KNBR listener forever. I was at SF State as a junior, and we had a class that like you had to get credit for an internship, you know? You like couldn't just work for free as an indentured servant or whatever, so you had to get class credit. So they actually KNBR posted on like, I don't know, dude, I can't remember the site. It wasn't Craigslist or something, but it was like a job post site, and they were looking for interns, and I wanted to intern here, so I got hired as a promotions intern. And I did that for like 6 months, or I think I did it for a semester, and then did it again for another semester. At the end of that second semester, Jen Violet was working in the programming department, and she asked me to be a programming intern. So then I did some stuff on like Fitz and Brooks. I did some audio cutting stuff. Helped out with Giant. It's so funny. I helped out with like weekends in the park stuff with Pecan and Michael Urban at the time, like doing setup and breakdown. So that's how it started. And then I stopped working at KNBR or interning from like 2010. I stopped before the World Series, and then 2010 till like 2016, I was doing other stuff, working restaurants and bars and alumni office at my old high school at Moreau and Hayward, and then decided I wanted to get back into it. So I quit that job, started working in restaurants again, and then got hired 1 day a week in 2016 at KNBR. I was working on 1050.
Let's pause right there.
Saturday mornings.
Let's pause right there while I fix this screensaver in the back here.
I kind of like it.
I mean,
it's kind of serene.
I'm kind of in on the ocean.
With the beer, but
Have you done this before?
This didn't happen
It's
last
not
time.
supposed to be very
Is
polished.
this a dry run?
A little bit.
Not anymore.
So second episode, the background, the off-air background did stay up the whole time for the first episode.
Was Murph this patient? Did you guys have this many hiccups? Or
We had a couple of hiccups.
Murph was a lot more grateful to be here, I think.
What do you mean?
You know.
You know.
I mean, Murph's a good get for the first one. He's the anchor of the leader now. You know what I mean? He's the star.
All right.
He's the cornerstone.
Yeah,
You know
him
how
and,
to
him
make it so
and,
it doesn't
Chip McCarthy.
go to the screensaver.
He's the guy who like.
check your
displays.
settings.
He's the guy who you like. Like
No, it's not.
you gotta. We'll trade anybody for Giannis, but like.
Gotta be your lock window.
but not Murph.
But this is the guy we got to keep because then everybody's
Right.
building around
the
him.
pods.
Yeah. No, dude. We'll give away pods to keep that
I
guy.
remember when pods was untouchable.
No.
Turn display off.
Summer 24.
I remember when they treated it like he was untouchable,
Yeah,
and
that
I
was
thought they overvalued him then.
100%. What do you think, Austin?
Dude, this is actually really good.
Really good.
Really good for like not really good as in like I'm gonna drink like a few of these, but like
You can blink in 5 to
dude,
7.
this
5 to
is
7
an easy
leagues will be
sip.
gone.
This is an easy sip.
gone. This in the sun too. You right
It's
now.
basically
You're
all I drank in Hawaii.
artificial light,
This
yeah.
and those, what do you call those things?
This is better than the one we had during the dry run.
I think that should be good, right?
yeah. This is on my Mount Rushmore beers.
All right. Like if I go to Hawaii, I will get these.
If it's ever on tap and you're at a place, it's great in a draft.
I appreciate you, Jack.
Thanks, man.
Okay.
Yeah. You probably don't get that a lot from me, but I appreciate you for this beer.
I
like
want
that.
you to be able to hold your own in a
It's helpful.
bar setting with other men.
All right.
Off air.
2016, we left off.
Yeah.
You get hired full time at KNBR.
No, I got hired part-time.
Part time.
I was working like Saturday mornings on 1050.
Cutting sound.
No, like I had one shift every week. This is actually kind of funny. I got hired in July of 2016. And I had one shift on 1050 every Saturday morning from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay.
And so it was always like, I remember one week I ran Wimbledon. 1 week it's college football games at 9. It's the same kind of stuff we have on 1050 now. It's
Right.
ESPN Radio or Westwood One, or it's whatever
National games.
whatever national game we're carrying, or sporting event. Daytona 500. I remember I ran one time and I was like, we called it. And there he goes again.
Left again. They're about to turn left.
Made
It's
another
crazy.
left
They
turn.
never go to break. Yeah, Daytona 500. So I did that. No joke. I worked at KNBR for 7 months before I got paid because
You hear that, Loder?
I was always here on Saturday, and I
worse.
couldn't get a hold of anybody like in the offices or HR, like whatever. I don't know. It was, and I was just like whatever. I was kind of just happy to be there. I was like, I just want to be in the building.
You hear that, Loder?
It was a part-time gig, and I was just trying to work my way up, and so then worked into a part-time role, doing more. I just said yes to everything, Christmases, New Year's, all sorts of stuff for like a year and a half, and within 2 years, I was a full-time producer of the nighttime show we had at 10P to 1A with Ryan Covey, and then that morphed into leadoff spot and Murph and Mac and me and Tom, and now Dirty Work.
Was there ever a moment where it was like New Year's Eve or Christmas Day or Christmas Eve or something, and you're in that 1050 little bunker, and you're like, it's like 2 a.m. and you're like, what am I doing?
No, I mean, no, I never had to do that on 1050. Yeah, I did. So everybody's got to work overnights.
Yeah.
Overnight Dave, carries
Shout
the
out
load.
Overnight Dave.
Most important employee in the entire building.
Yeah.
The backbone of these sports leaders.
We'll have him on the show.
If
Yeah.
what would happen is like they'd put out a list of holidays like in October, and they'd be like, okay, if anybody volunteers to work the overnights, we're going to be open. We have to be active. We need somebody to work all night. If you volunteer for a holiday, then you won't just get scheduled for one later on. So I used to always try to volunteer for the night before Thanksgiving because you work 10P to 6A. First football game's on at 9.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I could go home and go to sleep and wake up by halftime.
It's not bad.
In that first game. Plus, by the time it hits midnight, you get time and a half.
Right.
So you work that one is good. And then I would always, when we had the Warriors, I used to volunteer. I think the first couple of years I was here was our last couple with the Warriors. I would volunteer to work Christmas because they'd always play.
Right.
I would always work with Steve Fishman, Jewish guy. Always would work on Christmas. He and I would order Chinese food, cut the Warriors, and I brought my Xbox a couple of times and we just like played video games in the studio.
Yeah.
It was great. I was down to do it. You
Yeah,
get
good
paid
time
extra.
and a half, yeah.
You don't have to hang with your family if you don't want to. So no, it was good. I like honestly, overnights suck, but I think like if you really wanted to do what I get to do and what I wanted to do, then it wasn't that big of a deal. I was happier to do this than work late night Christmas Eve at restaurants when I used to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you start doing the leadoff before Murph and Mac.
Shower hour, then the leadoff spot. Yeah, I was already like kind of pecans fill in, and I had done some lead out like shower hour fill ins and filled in for him on the board.
Okay.
Yeah. But then I started doing that, and actually it's so funny. We're recording this. What's the date today?
February 12th.
February 18th, 2018 was my first episode of the leadoff spot. Or it was the
Okay.
first day of that show. Yeah,
And that was a 5 a.m. show.
5 to 6. Yeah,
Damn.
And how long were you doing that?
4 years almost. 4 years and 4 days.
Okay. And then you get the big call up to Tolbert and Copes eventually.
Yeah,
How was it working with Tom Tolbert? Legend.
the coolest.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolute legend.
and like, dude, and like, just to answer the same question, like, working with Murph and Mac was like my dream.
Okay.
Like, I remember the day their show started. I was driving my sister to school. We were in high school. I was a junior. And the show started, and I remember by the end of their first week, or like when their show was actually, it's like maybe their first full week of like actually doing Murph and Mac. I remember sitting at the U-turn to pull into my high school thinking, dude, this would be the coolest and most fun show to work on. Yeah. And then I was like, what are the odds if I ever got to be on radio? And I was like 16, being like, if I ever got to do this, what are the odds it would even be in the Bay Area? And then I was like, what are the odds they'd even still be on the air?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I
that
can't,
happened.
it was, I can remember the thought. I remember exactly where I was sitting. I remember like where I was in line in the cars to turn into the driveway. So that, I mean, dude, that was a dream come true. And the way they mentored me and were so good to me and welcomed me in and thought I was a good addition to the show and allowed me to be a part of the show. Like that is the reason I got the opportunity to work with Tom. That and budget cuts. But
Mostly.
but I mean, it's no, dude. Working with Tom was really cool. It's cool and surreal to be recognized by people who are just, I don't know, like you guys know as sports fans. I used to think about this when I was a kid. Like they're the big baseball men, they're the big football men, and then you get to a point where you're like, I'm the same age as these guys in college.
Yeah.
Like they're 22 and they're playing pro sports, and then you get to meet them, and you guys are around them, and you're in locker rooms, and you're like, they're just people.
Yeah.
They're much different people, and they were raised different because of what their abilities were and how sports shapes lives at a young age so frequently in this society. But it's surreal to be recognized as a peer by anybody who you looked up to like that. Beyond, like, I followed them forever. Tom was on KNBR when I was 6 years old is when he started. Like, that's incredible. So Tom and I actually, it's so funny. He's the one guy I'd never, ever really even spoken to much here because our schedules were so opposite. Tom's not waking up to listen to the show. And I don't know if he'd heard me on Niners because I started that in 2019 or something else. But when they asked me, how would you like to work with Tom? I said, just like, have you talked to Tom? Does Tom even know this? Does he know who I am?
Yeah.
Like, he does, but he...
Right.
They were like, yeah, he was down with this idea, and we went and got dinner together in Alameda. Actually, Tom invited me to meet him for dinner, so I go out to Alameda, and I have to do the leadoff spot the next day. It was like a weeknight. So I go out to Alameda to meet him, right? I don't have a car, so like, you can't BART to Alameda. I think BART into Fruitvale, like Uber over there. We sit down, and we get the menus, and Tom's like, oh, I already ate. You can just order. So I ate, and Tom put away a bunch of beers and was like, yeah, man, I'm looking. It was. I thought it was kind of like a let's see how Tom was feeling me out. Yeah. It was more like a you ready to do this kind of meeting, and it was cool, man.
So there wasn't. Would you say there wasn't much like intimidation in the beginning, like? Oh
no, there was tons of it. Of course.
Okay, there was.
Okay. I was actually when I realized that that date was coming up, February 18th. I was just thinking about it because it was my first leadout spot, and then ironically, the 22nd of February in 2022 was the first show with Tom. I did my last leadoff spot and Murph Mac, by the way, the same day that I did my first show with Tom. Wow. So I did the morning, did the morning leadoff spot morning show. So I got up at like 3 like normal, went home, and I was like, oh, I'll just go home and nap, and then go back. I could not nap. I was so nervous. I was wired. And it's funny because like I had my own voice. I'd worked with Marty on weekends. I'd done Niners with Dennis and John, and I'd done all the stuff with Murph and Mac, and I hosted with a bunch of people, been a fill-in. But I completely didn't know who I was in the first 5 minutes of hosting with Tom. I'm like, I don't know his sense of humor. I don't know how to interact with him. I don't know what he's looking for. I don't know. It was a totally
And was there a feeling like, does this guy even like respect me as a co-host? Like this new guy coming up?
No, never.
Yeah.
Never a respect level.
Okay.
Always, dude, Tom is... Like, dude, Murph and Mac were really good partners, and they were the only partners they ever had with each other to that point, right? Like, I mean, not ever, but like at KNBR, like Paulie had worked on the ticket 1050 and had done shows with Rod and stuff like that. And Murph had filled in, but like Tom had been through it in terms of like he was with Ralph, and Ralph was the guy, right? And Tom was the second. Then Tom had John, and he had, I mean, for a while he had Burnsy with him at one point. He had Ray Ratto with him, and then he had Kruger and Rod, and like. Tom has been through it with so many different people that he was the ultimate teammate. And Murph and Mac, like, they showed me how you be a partner, how you stay loyal to your partner in the room, how you don't put your partner down on the mic. How if there's a problem, it gets settled outside of the room. Like, watching them and how they did it and how they embraced protecting the show. It's like the NFL is with the Shield. The show comes first. And Paulie Mac is maybe the best I've ever met at that. The show comes first. Like, no matter what crap you got going on. And that was easier at, no joke, that's easier at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. than it is at 2 p.m. every day. It's easier to cut out the world at 5 a.m. because you're the same person at 3 when you wake up every day. By 2 o'clock, I've stubbed my toe. I missed my train. There's a variety of things can happen to ruin. I got to do an off-air KNBR pod. Right. A variety of things can fuck up my day before 2 o'clock.
Right. That's a good point.
But with Tom, like, he taught me really, really quickly, and just by proxy, by how he handled his business and how everybody would tell you, everybody says it about Tom, he's just so chill. He's the same guy on air as off air, but even better off air. Like they say, don't meet your heroes, and I said this in his last show. That's the most special moment of my entire career, was getting to be in that room with him. And that he wanted me there for that last show.
Yeah.
Favorite? That's a partner. Like you got to look out for your guy.
Favorite moment with Tom, either on air or off air, that stands out to you?
Are you going to ask anything?
No.
Well, I was gonna.
Are you here? I'm like,
I realize I've been
he's
asking a
too
lot of
busy
questions.
putting away
turn my
these
chairs.
beers.
You know, I'm like, if he's not going to talk.
I thought you were gonna turn it the other way. I was like, oh, that's nice.
To face him. What was the question? The next one.
Do you have a moment with Tom that stands out to you? Your years working with him on air or off air?
I mean, that one specifically, the last episode.
The last show, yeah.
The last show, because...
That was an emotional bit there.
Well, dude,
roll the clip.
It's a... You have it. It's a weird... It was super weird, right? Because we find out, like, we were doing the shows the day Klay Thompson returned, with Dallas.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
It was a Tuesday. We were at Harmonic in Thrive City. And then we all found out, me, Derek, and Tom all found out, like, we had a meeting with management the next day. And so then the next day we found out what happens, and I was like, I'm not going in.
Yeah.
I did this shit.
It
you guys
came
wear this.
as a shock to
I'm
everyone.
not, but I was like, dude, no way this is gonna happen. I'm gonna go wear this again.
Yeah.
No chance. So I was like, I was like, I'm gonna take the day. Like Tom's gonna take the day, and then they, to KNBR and Cumulus' credit, they allowed Tom to do a farewell show, which is not something in this industry people are afforded. Like if you're a legend, even then it's rare. Like Radnich got one, you know.
And there was no time to like prepare for this. The news came that day.
The timing was hilarious.
The night before.
Yeah, we were
So-
literally at Harmonic, like editing, like
dude.
Clay's return and like doing shit till like midnight, like 12:30, and then we got the news the next day.
Yeah, well, the news comes the next day, and then the announcement. And Tom was like, I talked to him, you know, after it all happens, and he was like, I was like, you gonna do the farewell show? And he's like, I don't know, we'll see. I'm thinking about it. And same Tom, just like normal Tom, you know.
Yeah. Pro.
How many guests did we have for that final show? I remember we put out a graphic, and it was like it might have been
it was
like
all his buddies.
12.
Yeah, it was
to
a who's
15
who of
guests.
friends of the show.
Every 15 minutes.
So he hits us the night before, hits me the night before, and Derek and Tim, and we were all hanging and drinking together. Then it all kind of stopped because it was like 8:30, and Tom was like, I'm gonna do the show tomorrow, farewell show. Here's who I want guests, blah blah blah. And we were like, oh, now we just kind of stop and go ready to do the show tomorrow. And I was like, do you want me there? I'm gonna be there, but I was like, do you want me in studio? If you want to be the guy, like that's kind of how Radnich did it. He came in at the end and did his own thing by himself, and I was like, dude, I'll do whatever you want. I've been with you for 2 years, and whatever, it's your final show. So we did it. I think I talked in the first segment with him, like we bullshitted, and then I don't remember saying anything for the next 4 hours until like I laughed with him, or maybe like ins and outs of you know, just BS and after a guest or something. But it was a guest every segment. It was like Kerr, Brent Jones, Bill Martin. It was like all the time. Romenda, I think, came on. Steve Young came on. It was like everybody who had been a part of Tom's aura or Tom's circle was on his legendary guests. And then at the end, dude, the fact that I just got emotional. I wasn't planning on giving a speech or saying anything, and Tom's not like that.
Right.
But he saw me in the last segment because I really started to get overwhelmed thinking like, Dwayne Kuiper called in randomly, I think, at the end, and I was like, I can't believe I'm a fly on this wall, was what I was thinking. Like, this is my major leagues, man, and this is my, I don't know. Again, I said it in that final statement. Like, Tom is KNBR. He's the Steph Curry. He's the one who made it what it is. And of course, Gary and Ralph laid the bricks, but Tom is the star of this place. So that was the most special moment. And then he cried. He said, "Take it away, Dirk." And we stood up and we were all emotional. And Mike Holler, now PD, and PD then walked into the room right after and he goes, "Tom, I need your key card."
Yeah, that was good. That was very funny.
Oh my God.
Which was hysterical.
I made it on the air,
You've
right?
talked about those moments where you are kind of like pinch yourself and look around like, how is this my life? I remember you told me specifically.
Still happens.
One time you're texting, you're like, yeah, I'm in a group chat right now with Brent Jones and Steve Young, and like sometimes I have to take a
Tom
step.
and Steve Young.
Tom
actually.
and Steve Young.
Steve Young.
Or like it's
texted us
probably
out.
another one with Brent Jones.
Steve Young texted us a joke about something we were joking about on air, and my phone comes up and it says Steve Young and Tom. I was like, and it's funny you mention that. Steve is the one, like not the one, but he's the one that most frequently, even though I've interviewed him every week or every other week now for going on 4 years,
Hundreds of times.
dude, it's surreal to me that Steve Young's like, "Copes, come on, Copes, I heard you when I was driving. You guys were talking about," or like we joke with each other. I'm like, that guy to me, like that's Steve. That's
right.
I'm a young guy. We had season tickets when I was a kid at the Stake, and I'm a Steve Young era kid.
Yeah.
I don't remember Joe playing, but that's surreal to me.
Crazy.
There's some cool baseball ones. At one point, I had back-to-back texts come in from JT Snow and Will Clark, and I was like,
That's another one. Yeah.
"Where's McCovey?" I was like, "That's all I need."
I feel you're good at keeping that perspective. I feel you need to like keep yourself grounded almost.
Dude, I'm like, I'm not a journalist. I don't pretend to be. I don't act like I am. If we get news, I have a responsibility, I think, to say it. I try to have a moral responsibility to not create a story, but it's my job to give an opinion. And so the reason I have an opinion is this stuff is cool. It's better than doing anything else I would want to be doing, except even the bullshit with you guys and sitting around before shows and how we come up with just goofy stuff. And it's the most fun. It really is a joke that this is our
Making out like bandits.
Anytime I have some stress or something over this job, it is like you step back. I try to do it like once a week and go like, it is ridiculous that I'm just like at work, like shooting the shit in the bullpen or whatever before the show. There's like yelling out cuss words and like throwing a football around, and then like Dwayne Kuiper walks, Tom Tolbert walks in or whatever it is. It's like there's no other job. Like,
we're very blasé, and it's funny because you're right. There are things we're blasé about, right? Do we talk to Dwayne? Do we call so? Like there's blasé. I'll text so and so, or like yes, not a joke. Yesterday we're doing the show, and we're teasing that Derek and I and Dirty Work is in Pleasant Hill at Jack's Restaurant and Bar in Pleasant Hill. Don't forget to check out Cantina Jack's as well in Pleasant Hill, right next door. Great place for happy hour, cold beers, good tacos. We'll be there Friday the 13th. We were talking about that on the show. Ron Wotus texts me during the show and just goes, Pleasant Hill, my stomping grounds. You guys sounding good. Hope you're doing well, Copes. And I'm like,
he's listening.
Ron Wotus was on the bench in 02 when I'm crying my eyes out. I'm like, that kind of stuff for me is still, I'll text my mom, be like, dude, Ron Wotus.
Yeah.
And that's the coolest stuff to me. And like, dude, perspective is, it'll change your life if you can understand perspective. And it's funny, we joked about the PD thing, but that is the most perspective change I've ever had, and it's changed my outlook on myself and on life and on the job I did, because I hated it. I know I wasn't good at it because I didn't want to do it, but I know there were parts of it that I was good at, and I my perspective on it now is like I wasn't supposed to be PD for however many years, and given the same option in the circumstances that we were in and how it was presented, I'd probably say again in that same scenario, if I were to do it over, somebody's hands were going to get bloody, and it wasn't going to be their fault. Somebody had to shift the direction of the ship that we were on, because we were going in the wrong direction and we were losing. And it wasn't that we were losing, so we were stale and we didn't have an identity. And I would hope you guys would agree we have an identity now to some extent. Like, I think we're far more progressed in what digital sports media and this medium needs to be now than when I took over. And I'm not saying I deserve that credit. I'm saying you deserve that. You were hired then, you were fired then, and then hired then. I'm just saying, like, there's a whole, if you can change your perspective on that, where it's like, I for a while I was like, I got done dirty, this happened, blah, blah, blah. But then you gotta look at it from the side of like, dude, they thought highly enough of me to be the guy.
Right.
To where they were like, we don't want it to be somebody else. We think you're the guy. Yep. People can have their own thoughts, and I don't really care about the thought, well, it was cheaper to have Copes do it. It was blah, blah, blah. We didn't have a PD, this, for months, because Kevin got sick and had to leave the job. We lost our last one to an illness. So,
talk about directionless.
Yeah, dude. So seriously. So I'm like, I like, if you can have that perspective and you can keep that, like, that makes this so much more special, and it keeps us, me personally, from getting jaded by, I deserve this, I should have this, I've done this for this company. Like, that's a bad way to go about it.
Yeah. And
it's really cool that we get to do this.
Yeah. So you think having that role made you appreciate the hosting job more, even?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know that I appreciate it more. I mean, I think I appreciate a lot more about what everybody has to do, because I think if you can put yourself in somebody else's shoes every morning, and not just like, what are they thinking today, but like, I do this with Derek, my co-host, all the time. If you can think about what your friends or your partner or your wife, what are they going through when they wake up today? What are their fears? What are their things that make them happy? Yeah. What's going to stress them out? If you can really try to feel that regularly and understand that, that's going to connect you with that person, and that's going to make that bond work different. And you got to do it, like, specific relationships in your life will make that exponentially different and better. So we're getting like way bigger into like emotional stuff, but dude, that's something that I really struggled with a couple of years ago, and it's changed how I view my job, especially after Tom. Yeah.
During your time as PD, like, you were obviously hosting, which is insane to be doing both at the same time. I remember Super Bowl in Vegas, like, we were having a good time, but I could tell at least that you were like, maybe on the verge of just like going mentally like insane. Yeah. Like, was there a light bulb moment for you during that double dip where you were like, I can't do this. Like, this is just like not gonna happen for me.
Yeah.
He's getting PTSD right now.
That's what he went after Bonte on Twitter.
The answer is yeah.
Yeah.
It was a cry for help.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about how.
Elaborate on that.
Let's talk about how that wasn't that big of a deal, and it was really a good tweet. By the way, I stand by my flame out.
Roll the clip.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Stand by the flame out.
It was my second day at KNBR, and I went home from work. I was like, this is This job is awesome. Same thing I say
Dude,
most
stand
days.
by it. That son of a bitch still hasn't written anything about us when we do well. That son of a bitch still, he tried to end my career in 1,500 poorly written run-on sentences and words. I really care about this place, and that was literally part of that emotion. It's like, dude, I'm defending this place.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I stand by it. I'm gonna go to battle with my guys. I'll be loyal to this place and to this place's shield until I'm no longer here, and then even probably after that. Like this is my gig. Like everybody in the industry who's in this medium in this market wants to be here. So was there a light bulb moment where I burned out or where I thought it was too much?
I don't know. Like,
I don't know if there was a light bulb moment. Mari's walking around like fixing our cameras. Mari, you saw me cry a lot. Yeah, there you go. See, so there you go. I don't know. It was really hard. I'll say this: when the Super Bowl was here, I had so much more fun in the last week that the Super Bowl was here.
I did too.
And part of it, I was like, it's funny. Part of it, I was like, yeah, I get to sleep in my bed. My commute's super close. It's super fun being in the host city. You got all these events here. Vegas was a blast. Don't get me wrong. It's no joke, dude. Outside of work, that whole era is kind of a haze for me. Like I was really, really in the like drinking from a fire hose. Almost every day. And dude, it's the number of calls you get, the number of texts you get, the amount of people who want to talk to you all of a sudden, and then immediately don't after you're not, which is interesting too.
They switch up.
It shows you a lot. It does. It really does. How many people? You're like, I've been working at KNBR at this point for, 6 years or whatever, 7 years, whatever it was. I was like, nobody's reached out to that point, but now all these people want your attention.
Yeah.
And I understand it. That comes with the gig. Part of it is not ever wanting it and kind of feeling like I needed to, that we needed it. But no, there wasn't like one moment. It was just, I was ready though. I was ready to not be it before I was not it.
Right.
We could tell, I remember like the week after you stepped down from that role, you could just like see on your face, like you looked younger.
Oh, bro. The physical, I can't explain to you. When I got off the call and I officially did, the physical release, I cannot explain how I literally was like, oh my God, I don't have any responsibility. But for me right now, like, that's a hard thing, man. Like, I don't know. It was a really, I'm glad I did it. And I would do it again if it were the same scenario and the same situation, because I think it was the right thing at that time. I was supposed to be a comet across the sky. I wasn't supposed to be a long lasting. And I'm really grateful to Larry and to Bruce Gilbert that I'm still here. I'm really happy that I'm still here and that they, in the same vein, saw that I was an asset to this place. So,
how much time was there between that phone call and when you went back to your show? Like, how much time did you have off?
Oh, I was already off when I resigned. I was already on vacation. I was due back like in a couple of days, and then I think they gave me, like another 3 days.
Yeah. I remember thinking, I was like, damn, Cubs got suspended.
They didn't call it that, but still got paid, and they didn't call it that, so I was like, whatever, I don't give a damn.
How was that hiatus for you?
Dude, it was weird. Once I resigned, they wouldn't let me come back from it. Then I was kind of irked. And then I was like, because I like coming to work. I don't want to not go to work. Like, I got to go to work all through COVID to go to the studio. Yeah, I got to a point where I was like, all right, what's legal? What's going on legal?
Am I suspended indefinitely? Then you came back and I had started habitating your desk area. Remember that?
Yeah, you were at my desk.
That's right.
And I had only met you like a couple times in person because it was like literally my first week when it all went down. And you come in and everyone's like, oh, Coach is back. And then you're like, fuck are you doing at my desk? Dude? Get out of here.
We all kind of like, Loder, you're going to have to move from that desk.
I know.
Because it was my old desk, because I had an office. And then I came back, I didn't have an office anymore.
Yeah. It's pretty much the desk that you leave a hamburger on and take a bite once every half hour.
Dude, anybody who knows me, I'm a grazer, man.
Then I went to the shuffleboard.
That's what I do. I do it here now, too.
I know.
I went to the shuffleboard table and I never moved.
Yeah. I didn't hire you, but I did choose you of the candidates.
I appreciate that.
I was
Who's the second choice?
Batting 500.
What else we got?
We can talk about moments as a fan, because no one's a bigger fan than you. Obviously, you have a different perspective now, but like those Giants teams you lived and died with, you've lived with some serious Niner heartbreak. So we have some dates for you.
You want to do the segment?
Done first.
Where were you?
Where were
All right,
you?
let's do it. All right, so we got a segment called Where Were You? We're gonna give you rapid.
I do it every week.
We're gonna do rapid fire dates.
We have this new idea called the NBA grab bag. It's this big sack.
It's a huge sack. I actually have it right here.
That's an organic bit, by the way. If you want, I'll tell you later. How that came.
Okay, so we're going to run through some iconic dates in various sports history.
Okay.
You're just going to tell us, give you your memories of where you were, all that. January 29th, 1995. Super Bowl 29.
Yes.
I was at. It's my first actual football memory. I don't remember the game. I don't remember the game at all. It is really my first football memory. Because I always joke, like in sports, at some point you come online as a kid where you're like, I'm aware of this now.
Mine was Packers-Broncos Super Bowl.
Yeah.
98, I think.
That's the next. No, you're right. 97.
That's late.
97, 98.
No, because it's Broncos and Falcons after Broncos and Packers.
Right,
Packers
so-
win at 96, so it goes Niners.
Packers won 96 against the Patriots.
Yeah, against the Patriots.
And then 97 was Broncos. Packers.
It goes Niners,
Yeah.
Cowboys, Packers, Broncos,
Yeah.
Broncos.
So my first was Packers-Broncos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you're.
I was at Ben Westfall's house. We had season tickets. My mom was on the waiting list at Candlestick for years in the 80s. And then we had season tickets when I was a kid at the Stick. And then, so they were big fans, my mom was. And we went to my classmate Ben's, we used to carpool together. His parents were Niner fans and season ticket holders too. We were at their house for a party. And I remember tons of people, tons of adults. I don't remember knowing that it was the Super Bowl. I remember knowing or recognizing later on as like a little kid, oh, that was the Super Bowl that we were at. And I do remember there was either a halftime show or a pregame thing where there was an Indiana Jones bit where he's like, Indiana Jones is going to try to get it's like a stage on the field.
Yeah.
He's trying to get the Lombardi trophy,
yeah.
Oh,
but
that's
he's doing the
freaking
thing
awesome.
with the sand, and
That's
he's like,
cool.
I hate snakes and all that.
We got to
kind of
bring
stuff.
back stuff like that.
That's the only thing I can
We
remember.
used to be a proper nation.
That
did.
and playing tackle football for the first time in that backyard.
Okay.
In Ben's backyard,
You were
which
what?
in my mind it's huge, but I'm sure if I looked at it now, it's like
20 feet.
It's not a bit. It's like a little
Yeah.
townhouse.
And so you were 7, 8?
No, I was 5.
Oh shit. Okay.
January
You were born in.
I was born 89. I was
Okay.
January 95.
Yes.
I was going to be 6 in April.
You're
yeah.
gonna be sick.
I
Okay.
don't even know if I have a single memory from when I was 5. Like, do you guys have like a
I remember-
core memory from when you were
I remember-
5?
I
That's
remember some
crazy.
kindergarten
to me.
stuff.
I remember some kindergarten stuff.
You remember kindergarten?
I remember like my kindergarten crushes.
I think I was
and
at
stuff.
kindergarten, but like, just there's not like a
Where are
core
they now?
like
You
were getting
mental
the hot,
memory.
Hold on, you were getting the hots in
Getting the
kindergarten?
hots, dude.
I was
getting the
totally
hots
getting
in
the
like
hots in
pre-K,
kindergarten.
like preschool, man.
I was kissing
Seneca.
Dude,
I still remember her name.
So that was your
Seneca.
peak. That was your prime.
Seneca.
Seneca Wallace.
Seneca Wallace,
It's the
bro.
only other Seneca I've ever known.
Was this a guy?
Let's move on. No, it was a woman. It was a little lady. Okay, let's move on.
Woman.
It was a 5-year-old woman.
It's 5-year-old
Come
woman.
on.
I call them women.
Check the scrolls.
1997, September 18th. Brian Johnson home run, Dodgers to tie the NL West.
You know what's funny? I don't remember that. I always, when I say I came online, I have some memories. I remember the 97 World Series Game 7 because I was at my other friend's house.
Which
I was at
Yankees.
No,
No, that's Marlins
that was
Indians.
Marlins.
Marlins Guardians.
Indians.
Marlins Guardians.
What's the name of the team?
Marlins Tribe.
You can say the team.
Or Cleveland, if you're
You're doing a number on that.
They,
beer.
Beer's gone.
They.
Ooh. Let's give a round of applause. Sorry,
you want another
for
one?
Austin
Yeah,
finishing
no,
the beer.
I'm good.
Austin finished his beer in record time.
I'm so hyped.
That was like a half hour.
Yeah. I downed it.
It wasn't even flat yet.
It was really good.
You want another?
I do not.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Anyway, the Brian Johnson number I
97.
don't remember. I remember the World Series Game 7. My dad picked me up from a friend's house. And I was pissed because my dad was like, we got to go home. It's so funny. My dad's not a sports fan. And he knew that I was a baseball fan or I liked baseball as a kid. But he picked me up and I was mad he picked me up early for my friends. He's like, we got to watch Game 7. And I didn't really even know what that meant, but that's my first Game 7 memory. 98 is the first baseball season I remember in total.
Okay.
Because of the home run chase. And I met Mark McGuire at an ARF benefit that my dad was working at with Tony La Russa the spring before McGuire hit 70.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
That was peak McGuire.
So 97, I don't remember Brian Johnson.
Okay.
Which is probably alarming to people, but
Let's go
Let's
to
move
let's go
to.
to 99.
Yeah, I was gonna say 99.
January 3rd, 99, 49ers Packers, NFC wildcard, the catch 2.
yep. I was at home.
You were at home?
I was at home. I think my mom was at the game. I think we had a babysitter. And
Was she hot?
Yeah. How would she look?
she birthed you, just ask.
Oh, roll the clip.
Let's sing go.
No, we had I like my siblings were younger, so I'm 99. I'm like going on 11, I guess. Yeah, I mean there was a point in time where like I was the only one watching sports in the house. You know what I mean? Like my mom's not there, and my mom's like a Niner fan. She didn't really care about much else.
Your dad was off at the Laugh Hut putting out zingers.
Probably at Cobbs or punchlines.
He's working on his tight 20.
Anyway, so he makes the catch. T.O. makes the catch.
Anyway, T.O. makes the catch. I was, at that point still, I was kind of obsessed with the Broncos. When I was like a kid, I was really obsessed with John Elway.
Interesting.
First jersey I ever had. And I remember saying to my mom in 97 or 90, it was when the Niners lost to the Falcons. Before they lost, I said, well, Mom, like, if the Broncos play the Niners, who I root for? She's like, you root for the 49ers.
Root for the Niners or you'll meet this belt.
And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, so anyway, there we are. That's, I remember up and nothing. I wasn't like, nobody in my family was there to teach me sports.
Yep.
So I have a very obsessive personality anyway about things. Like if I get into something, I watch all of it, I read it.
Sharks.
Just in general, I obsess over things. I'm a very like addictive, obsessive personality. So when I got into it as a kid, like stats, notes, books, audio, I would go to sleep every night listening to games, listening to midnight replay. Like that was my thing. It took me a minute on some stuff before I was like, I know about it because I learned about it, but I wasn't a maniac about like the Niners at that point. I was a football fan and I watched it, but
okay. Let's just rapid fire through these because then we have one more little segment to get to after this. But I'm gonna go 99 September 30th, the last Giants game at Candlestick.
I remember that they helicoptered. I was watching at my house. They helicoptered home plate from Candlestick to Pac Bell, and I believe at the time it was called 3Com Park. Thank you. At Candlestick Point.
That is true.
I also remember like the week before we went to the final. It was a game of the last homestand. It was Giants D-backs, and I remember because they put together their all-time San Francisco Giants lineup or team, and Matt Williams was playing third for the D-backs.
Okay.
And he got to be honored as a third baseman.
Nice. October 5th, 2001, Bonds 71-72.
Stayed home from a school dance because it was a Friday night. It was a Friday night, and the Giants.
Homecoming?
No, I was in 7th grade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I stayed home
on a date, but
I stayed home on the Friday night. It was just like a school dance. You get one a month at a different middle school, like in our diocese. And I never missed any of them, but I was like, dude, Giants have to win out, and they need help, and Bonds has to break the record. They break it. I remember I sat in my mom's living room in Hayward, up on Bridal Drive in the Hayward Hills, doing the late. Nobody was awake. They did the late. The Dodgers wouldn't stop the game. They had to do the ceremony after. Yeah. And they do the ceremony after, so it's at like midnight. Bonds is getting a car from the Giants, and then they played the Rolling Stones. You can't always get what you want.
All right, let's go to September.
After they got eliminated.
September 11th, 2001.
I was in 6th grade. I'll tell you exactly. I showed up, didn't know this happened.
Was that Yankees, Diamondbacks?
Yeah, they're scheduled. Showed up at school, and I remember at school we always had an assembly in the morning, and everybody's running around. I had no idea what was going on. 6th grade, my buddy Brian Evans says, dude, the World Trade Center was under attack. I was like, what's the World Trade Center? And he says the two towers in New York. I was like, I don't know. And he goes,
Bonds has 63.
No, and then he says, well, they flew another plane into the Pentagon, and I said, I had just seen Air Force One.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that's where Glenn Close is with like all the military
We
people.
might have a situation on our hands.
I got home and I was like, there's nothing on the Pentagon. It's all about these towers.
Yeah, roll the clip. Yes.
Loose change action here on off air.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can jet fuel melt steel beams?
Let's fast forward. I'm going to skip a couple. 2007 Bonds 756.
Wait, we can't skip 2002. No, we're 2002.
Okay,
Game
okay.
6.
2002 World Series Game 6, which was October 26th.
Yeah, I was at home. We were having a family party. We had a party. Me and my mama Susie, my stepmom, my grandpa John, rest his soul, my uncle Bob, a bunch of. So my dad's not a fan, right? Baseball fan. They go get or a sports fan really at all. They go get the ball. Dusty takes the ball from Russ. Russ walks off, and I remember I was sitting on our couch, and my mama Susie was across the room, and she's my person and my baseball person. And I turned, and we remember they go to commercial, and we turned and we looked at each other. And like party's happening, and we just made eye contact. And I know we both thought we're gonna win the fucking World Series. That's what happened.
Yep.
Then it happens. They lose. And as soon as the last out's made, there's like 50 people, 40 people in our house. I turn the TV off, and my dad in the back, while Tim Salmon's getting fucking interviewed, my dad's like, hey, I wanted to hear what he had to say. And I would have blown up, but before I could have said anything, my grandpa goes, it stays off. And my grandpa's he watched Lou Gehrig play at Yankee Stadium. He was an old timer. Anyway, Game 6 was brutal.
Let's fast forward all the way to the next era of Giants. Let's go November 1st. Wait, November 1st, 2010, World Series Game 5.
I was at Park Merced in right outside of San Francisco State.
Stone's throw from
right here. I was at 502 Gonzalez, my friend Carly and Shane's house, and they won. I called my mom. I called my uncle. my best friend Jason, who was in Argentina at the time, called
put him
me.
up again. Remember we put him up on that one video?
Oh yeah, put him up.
Yeah, I was at game 1 and game 2. I went to game 1 and 2 that year.
Oh shit! Wow.
Nice.
Oh wait, no, that's 2010, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at game 1 and I was at game 2, and then Jason and I went. He came back from Argentina. He was studying abroad for game 1, and then he called me. Anyway, then we champagne showered back here.
Did you go out that night?
No, drove back to the Mission, Outer Mission Excelsior, where I was living, and my buddies in the apartment. None of them were Giants fans or baseball fans. Let's go party, and I said I don't want to. And I sat there and I watched every fucking video, every interview, dude. I cried. I called my buddy again in Argentina. Talked to my mom. Oh, dude, 2010 was religious for me.
It was totally.
It was I couldn't believe it. I remember waking up in 12 after they won and being like, we didn't win a second time. I dreamt that.
Yeah. Where were you for 12?
12 was Detroit, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was October 28th, 2012.
I was with my brother and my dad's in the East Bay.
What was the okay? You're in the East Bay. What was like? Were you going out to bars and stuff during any of those games?
Fuck no, I don't watch playoff Giants games.
Yeah, that's you're a diehard.
I can't. It stresses me out because again, it's like I don't want to watch my dad be. I don't want. That's why. Because my dad will be like, "Oh, I want to hear what Salmon has to say."
Yeah.
No real Giants fan wants to hear what Tim Salmon wants to say.
No,
right now.
but there's something to be said for being in a crowd of like-minded people.
Yeah, so you get with your buddies and you watch with the people who care. Like 2012, Game 5 in Cincinnati, me and my buddy Matt, my roommate, and we had like 4 or 5 other roommates. A couple were Dodger fans. We just watched it together in a room, and we were bear hugging, like jumping together. That's a special moment.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever watched like a serious game as like a diehard fan, like in a public like bar setting.
And here's the other.
I would always
I like big football games in bar settings.
Here's the other reason. My brother went to the Civic Center thing at Game 6 in 2014 and went by himself, freezing cold. They lost 9-0. And he's like, dude,
suck.
and then he says, and I have to stay. Yeah. And I said, yeah, because if you leave and they come back and you're not there, then you're on BART and you miss the greatest comeback in the history of the World Series.
Yeah.
He's like, so you got to stay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's brutal.
And how about 14, October 29th?
2014, I was working at Boulevard Restaurant. I was supposed to be on the floor as a maitre d' that night, or a host, and I asked if I could be a reservationist and just take calls so I could watch the game on the laptop in the reservation room, and I did. And as soon I was in an office room by myself at 1 Mission Street, across the hall from former Mayor Willie Brown's office, and that's where the office at Boulevard is upstairs. And as soon as they won, like 10 minutes later, my boss came in. And she had a tray of champagne with just 1 champagne glass on it, and she brought it to me.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Were you losing your mind when they were kicking the ball around on the warning track in that one little office?
No, I felt really good about it. Yeah, right.
No
Juan Perez in left. Are you kidding me? The fuck's going on? I was losing my mind. Are you kidding? That whole day was stressful.
Yeah.
I lived that day twice. I lived it in 2002, the Game 7.
Yeah.
Worst day is you're stressed out. Worst of my parents' divorce. I was like, you kidding me? Then I got to lose? At least we won that
My
one.
little brother in 2014 said, oh my gosh, one more out. And I thought my dad was going to hit him. I literally, like my dad looked at him like, what did you just start counting outs? And then Alex Gordon hit the triple, and I actually was like, damn, my brother's going to get beat.
Yeah, that was brutal. Yeah.
Anyway, he didn't get beat. We won.
What was
white, huh?
Yeah, thank God he got
Except he didn't, you know?
Thank God he got Salvador Perez to pop up.
You're a North Beach guy. You're born and raised in San Francisco, first of all.
Nope. What?
Cut
Roll the tape.
He went to Moreau.
Roll the tape of my birth. She's crowning.
Yeah, which hospital?
No, I was born in Castro Valley. I was raised in San Leandro, high school in Hayward, JC in Hayward, then SF since 09.
You ever
SF since
ever
09.
bounce any material off your co-host? I could have corrected that.
Sorry. Let's rewind. All right. Born and raised in the East Bay.
Let's talk Southeast Bay.
But you're now living in North Beach. You are the, not even self-proclaimed, but I'd say everyone proclaimed, mayor of North Beach.
Well, you guys do because you guys don't live there. I mean, yeah, it does happen.
Let's run down favorite North Beach establishments, whether it's a bar, restaurant. What are your top 5?
Top 5 in no order.
No order.
Well, Original Joe's is on the list.
Nice.
Easy.
The Showdown is on the list because I'm a big fan of those bars too. Shout out to Poor Guys, POUR, but the Poor Guys, 4-bar group. What do they got? Showdown, Connecticut Yankee, Tempest, great bar downtown, and Louis, which is a good bar.
Okay.
Also downtown on Stevenson. Probably also gonna go. I gotta give some shout outs to some places then. I gotta go with North Star. The North Star's an awesome spot. I love the bartenders there. I love Brian and Billy and the owners over there. I love
Tupelo karaoke home for you.
Yeah, hold on.
All right.
Because again, that's I'm really just a Tuesday Tupelo guy, and with respect to Tupelo, it's a good bar.
Yeah.
Nothing. Again, I do go to Tupelo. I'm just saying, I'm a karaoke DJ Purple guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If DJ Purple's in that corner, I'm here Tuesdays. You know what I mean? I'll be here Tuesday night.
Yeah.
So I mean, Gino's. So if I'm giving you 4.
Yeah. One more.
I mean, I gotta go. Golden Boy, right? If we're going all establishments.
Yeah.
It was that, or I was gonna go North Beach Pipeline, which is where I buy my.
Okay.
Sometimes.
But you are a big pizza man.
Yeah, and also like I'm just giving a list of places that I frequent, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Those are just all places I go.
Order them snubbed.
I don't mean to snub them.
Yeah.
I'm not snubbing anybody.
Yeah,
like if
true.
I'm at
It's a
North
loaded
Star,
field. It's a loaded field.
So I mean, it's like, what do you want me to do? If I'm over at North Star, I'm probably popping into Boardroom.
If you're gonna sandwich, are you going Molinari or Alimento or somewhere else?
Probably. I mean, it depends on what you want. Well, Molinari would be my preference.
Italian sub.
Yeah, then Molinari is where I'm going.
Should we talk future of KNBR?
We can touch on that a little bit. It's 120.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Oh, you gotta go. Okay.
Yeah.
One
I gotta
last
eat something in the
one
chat.
last thing then.
We never did the Uber Eats bit.
Was it?
Because I never ordered it. I was wondering what time it was.
We'll have you on again. But one last thing before you go. Rank your all-time co-hosts that you've had between Derek and Tolbert.
What's the ranking? Is it just however I would qualify?
Favorite co-hosts
Favorite
for
co-hosts.
you.
My
Favorite co-hosts
Okay.
Rank them top 2.
for you personally. Like how great it is to work with them as co-hosts.
Wow.
I thought this would be quick.
Yeah, more thought than I thought there would be.
Yeah. I thought this would be a lot quicker.
You guys were expecting me to like really care about this show, did you?
No.
I'm like, not making dick jokes.
I love it.
We actually appreciate a few dick jokes.
If you just say the word dick.
I just did.
Okay.
I'm gonna say. Man.
No, this is
Rank them
serious.
based off who's better at basketball with their physical peers.
Here's what I'll say. How about I say this? Dirty Work is mine and Derek's, like, that's our brainchild, right? That's what we've created. It's the only time I've ever felt like I got to create something in this setting like that. Like, we've done our videos and we've scripted all that, that kind of shit, but like again, Tom was Tom. And my logic when I started with Tom, and I hope this was the right logic, was I'm here to make him look good.
Yeah.
If you play with Steph, your job is to get the ball to Steph. Yeah. My job was to throw him alley-oops, right? Like, how do I make Tom look good? What do I do for him? And John Lund was the best at that of anybody I've ever worked with in any capacity in the industry. Like, he was the best partner and co-host and point man, because he laughs at everything, he throws you everything, he makes you look good. When you say something, you're the expert. That's my job with Tom. With Derek, I'm way more just kind of me. Not that I wasn't with Tom, but I had a different constant goal with Tom. With Derek, I don't, because I'm like, we're just buddies anyway, because we had a relationship before. So,
and you get full creative control.
I will say I'm way more comfortable with Derek than I was with Tom because of just the start. I wasn't ever after like 6 months. But I am so grateful that I couldn't be with Derek if I didn't have where I got to learn from Tom.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for Tom. And I'm super happy that Derek and I got to.
Wow, so that's the shocker, taking Derek over Tom.
I know I didn't expect to do that either, but I mean, what's he gonna? He's not here. What's he gonna do? What's Tom gonna do?
Yeah. Taking Derek Papa over Tom Tolbert for favorite co-host. That's I didn't think that we'd see it.
That might be why he fired Tom.
Yeah. That'll wrap it up.
Then? No, says nobody knows. Some guy this week I got one this week.
Yeah.
Can't believe some guy this week tweeted at me after I shit on John Rocker, which by the way, you shit on John Rocker, you standing next to Rocker, you look good no matter what. Some guy's comments back and goes, your station, or he goes, you guys had Portnoy on your station and you fired Tolbert. I was like, I didn't fire. What are we doing?
Yeah.
We signed him a job for a year.
Accused me in public of firing Tolbert.
More likely.
We've all gotten accused. Well, that'll wrap it up. Former PD Adam Copeland, former PD of KNBR.
Thanks, Copes.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, boys.
And you've got a show to prepare for.
Yeah. Now you have to talk for 4 more hours.
Yeah. This was easy.
Thanks. Good.
Because that one I have to I gotta direct it, you know.
Right.
I never get to be just like answering questions.
Just answering questions.
Yeah,
I'm always
it's-
asking questions.
It's nice.
It is different.
Good. It was stressful for us.
It's kind of hard to direct it. That was a little stressful for me.
Yeah.
Was it?
You're sweating.
A little bit.
Yeah, pit
Not
stand.
stressful, but it's kind of like, okay, I gotta like, whenever there's like a little bit of a dead moment, you're like, oh shit, like I gotta.
You got to be comfortable in the quiet space, dude.
Yeah.
That's literally that's
I've
what it is.
never been good at that my whole life.
It's hard to have a beat of silence and be like, I got to be talking. You got to chill.
I've never been good with even just outside of performance stuff, even just in
hate
conversations.
You're still here?
Yeah.
Fuck, you scared me. I was like, Jesus, you haven't said anything in like an hour.
Well, Austin finished the beer. That's very good. I think
very good.
And did you enjoy it? I think that's the.
I did enjoy the beer. Yeah.
Wow.
Dude,
did.
I knew you because it's a sweet. It's
And
the
I'm-
easiest beer in the world, bro.
And I'm glad
it's
you
not,
can count this in your
besides,
tally.
like,
That's what's important to me.
Light domestics. Oh, just totally counts.
He's starting to enjoy beer.
Dude,
Yeah.
if you ever sit in the sunlight,
Enjoy
with
the
a
beer
draft
more.
You're dude, you're gonna know what we're talking about.
All right.
You're gonna know.
All right. Thank you,
Copes.
Copes.
I got kids to feed.
Yeah.
So we are a week removed now from Radio Row. I think I can speak for you guys when I say Radio Row was an incredible experience. Very fun week.
So sick.
Personally, I could have done 2 of them. I was like, this is awesome.
You could have done 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Oh wow, I was.
You were burnt out?
I was
Yeah,
really-
that's
Yeah,
fair.
I'm good. I'm good with one.
You're the one?
Yeah.
I was ready to go for 2.
It's so different from the day to day though. Like just doing radio roast is
difference
just so
is-
different.
And like this, it's just bustling with life and
Yeah.
with like, there's so many famous people looking around. Like,
Yeah.
It was easy to get distracted. Like you're looking like,
Yep.
oh, there's so and so, there's so and so.
Yeah. See, that part kind of burns me out. I kind of got sick of the personalities that kept coming through, and everyone like pushing something, and everyone kind of
Yeah.
having like their fake personality.
There was some commercialism involved with it. I
mean,
guess.
a crap ton.
Yeah.
That burns me
I
out.
was really tired at the end of every day. Like more so than I would
for sure,
usually
yeah.
for a work day. Because I think you're kind of like you're always on.
Yeah.
You've got to be put on a good face for KNBR, and also like you're working hard. You're talking to people.
Yeah. I'll say it. I'm not a Radio Row guy. I don't think it's fun.
Wow.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it reminds me of like just some sort of like sales convention, like people going around like selling pens or something like that. It like everyone kind of has like this really off-putting fake kind of personality. There's a lot of influencers there doing their selfies,
There are a lot of influencers
doing their like TikTok
their mini
videos,
mic stuff, making like content.
making content.
Losers.
I don't know, the whole thing is just not like a pleasant atmosphere to me.
I know for you, like
you ruined it for me now.
like being stationed like at the KNBR booth like most of the day for you. I think I don't know. I mean, me and you kind of tried to take opportunity to always just like take laps around and just
Yeah,
like
I
kind of
didn't
sniff
number
out
the
what's
laps.
going on. Like I think that part's probably the coolest part for me is like whether it's Jack and I trying to like book guests for the shows or
Yeah.
just like oh there's Saquon playing Madden or there's like Mad Dog doing a show or Stephen
It's
A.
cool to
Like
put eyes on stuff. Like it was cool to like walk by the McAfee booth and see
Yeah.
like McAfee doing his thing and like 40 like 25 to 35-year-old white guys like jerking each other off watching McAfee. Like that was
Yeah,
cool.
that's entertaining for sure. Because I like don't really like or watch any of those sports media shows on ESPN and Fox Sports and all that. Like,
I don't
watch Pat McAfee. The only show that I have always watched and still look at is like Pardon the Interruption.
Yeah.
And like that's it. If they were there, I would have.
Yeah.
Freaking.
That would have been a cool.
That would
bucket
be
list
sick.
thing.
And then I listened to like Jim Rome, but that's a radio. It's more.
You're kind of nerding out over Jim Rome, and you never did anything about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a little nervous when it
He
comes
is.
to going
He is.
up to like meet. No. But you know what it is?
You don't want to be seen as a nuisance.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I saw Jim
That's it.
Rome like at some sort of event that wasn't Radio Row, like if I saw him at like a random like 49ers game for some reason, I would feel much more comfortable walking up to him and be like, "Hey, I'm a big fan."
Right.
Going up to him at
Hey,
Radio
Jim,
Row
I am a big fan.
when he's getting accosted constantly by media people and producers asking him for like a 5-minute hit, or random people just walking up to him I don't want to be another one of those guys.
I get that. I totally get that.
That's why.
I was a little self-conscious when I was talking to Big Cat, Barstool Big Cat, because I'm a huge fan of his, and I remember standing there being like, "Damn, the longer I stand here, the more that I'm like somebody who needs something or somebody
You're
that
just
wants
glomming
a photo."
on. You're just
climbing on, but I tried to make it business-like. I tried to be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm with KNBR San Francisco. Would you like to come
Yeah, that's
on?"
good.
But even then, it felt like he was brushing me off, and I remember being like later, like, what did I think was gonna happen? Like I was gonna make him laugh and like he was gonna offer me a job or something. Like there's no outcome of that where I wasn't just a guy saying hi or a guy like asking.
I feel like that's all Radio Row is though. Like everybody's doing that. So like I don't know.
That's why I hate it. It's such a sales atmosphere to me.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not in sales.
I mean, it's networking.
It's networking. It's networking, and I despise networking.
Wow.
That's why I'm still
might be a pro to con,
middle management.
Not a big LinkedIn guy.
Oh my God, dude.
Linked out.
Despise it. I'm linked out.
Unlinked.
Bro. I'm like, and then the whole idea of like walking up to a celebrity and be like, hey, can I get a quick picture with you? And doing like and then he has to put on a fake smile.
Yeah.
I don't even like showing that picture to people. Because it's like, okay, here's me with a guy that doesn't want to be there.
Did that with Big Cat.
It's like here's me with a guy that is hating every second of this.
Boston Rob Survivor. Only guy I did that with at Radio Row.
Yeah, I think you got one in the tank.
Yeah.
Maybe two. For the most part, I did value being like professional about stuff. I was very acutely aware. I think this may be like the journalism school in me. Like I was pretty acutely aware of. Don't be the guy asking for photos.
Yeah.
Like they're getting bombarded by that stuff, and especially like outside of the convention center, like when they run into fans.
Yeah.
Was
for sure.
Another cool part about Radio Row, one of the main parts, if you look at our YouTube channel, it's packed. A lot of in-person guests, which is cool to see people pull up. Cool to see our hosts like interact with the guests in person and be like, in a way, sometimes starstruck. Like especially the younger guys. That was really cool for me, and like. Awesome. I know you agree with this, like us kind of playing producer a little bit and like wrangling.
That was fun.
Very fun. Bit of a serotonin rush that I didn't know.
Yeah, you guys got to kind of do something different than you usually put on your producer hat. And
definitely. I think that's fun in all professions. Our profession just rocks like always, but to change things up for a week, it was cool. It was cool.
I will say it is fun. It was fun having like these guests come on constantly, getting to meet and see these guests in person, people that I grew up kind of idolizing, like a Kevin Harlan or Chris Russo, like guys that when I was a little kid were kind of like iconic to me. That is cool. Yeah. That is cool. I don't take that for granted.
Yeah.
And you guys both saw it too, like just seeing San Francisco being like the heartbeat of the world for a week, and
that's cool.
And it pulling through
and getting
a massive success was awesome.
I was beaming with San Francisco pride by the end of the week. I even confronted Clay Travis kind of as we were leaving on Friday.
Yeah, why don't you run through that?
It was hardly a confrontation, but I went up to him and he was probably the only prominent media member who and Clay Travis is like pretty right wing. Like he's
outspoken on Twitter.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me to do this, but he said he was like the one guy out of all the dozens, scores of national media who was in San Francisco this week, the one guy who said, "Oh, disgusting downtown. Like I saw heroin needles and human shit." Which is a lie, by the way. He would have videoed that and posted it if he'd actually seen it. He was literally lying. So I walked up to him and I said, "Are you on air?" And I've known him for a while. I've known of his product for a while. Like he does actually some good college football stuff. If you want to like just talk about his product, but I said, "Hey, what's up? Are you on air?" He said, "No." And I said, "How'd you like the city?" And he's like, where they had us staying. I was like, "Did you go to like all the other great parts of the city besides the one part of the city that you know is not the best?" And he was kind of like, I've been to San Francisco before, and I was like, well, where did you go? He was like, "You seem biased." And I was like, "Yeah, I am biased, and I'm from here, and I'm frankly blessed to be from here." And so I'm sorry you had such a terrible time on that one made-up walk from your hotel to the convention center.
I will say that it is unfortunate that all of the hotels are a couple blocks away from the Tenderloin, like the heart of the Tenderloin.
Yeah, you were talking about last week about how that is like a design. It's like a kind of a fatality of a casualty of like the times, like when they built those hotels.
Yeah, I mean, when they built all those
ago.
great hotels around Union Square kind of was like the heart of the city.
Yeah.
It was like the place to go shopping. It had Macy's and like these French and Italian designer stores, Louis Vuitton and all that stuff, and it still has those. But it's very much recovering from everything that went down during the pandemic and a lot of the stuff from the Tenderloin homelessness kind of encroaching in on Union Square stuff. So yeah, all those hotels are so close to all that devastation that's still kind of going on in the Tenderloin. So it is really easy to see that if you're coming here as a visitor. And that's unfortunate because so many cities have that, but it's not right where all the hotels are.
Yeah, that's true. It's a proximity thing.
It is a proximity thing.
But I think a lot of the people who came here, especially like maybe like conservative leaning people or like middle America. Like Pat McAfee was like, I have just been the only thing I've heard about San Francisco for the last half decade is that it's like a third world country.
Yeah.
Which has been such an insanely magnified narrative. I'm glad San Francisco got it.
I completely agree. It was nice to see.
Last thing on Radio Row, we each ranked our top 5 guests of Radio Row. Do you have yours ready?
I didn't even.
You didn't? Well, you're going to have to do it on the fly. I'll start, then also go. So by the time you, no copies either. So.
No copies.
Impossible.
You can copy.
All right, thanks.
I was trying to make Michael sweat a little bit. I'll start with mine. My favorite one, because I laughed the hardest, was Michael Irvin, who is an NFL legend, a college football legend, obviously, University of Miami, Dallas Cowboys, number 88, the original 88 Cowboys, and he was on set with Dirty Work, which is like the perfect set for a goofball like him to be like properly wrung out on our airwaves. And when he was talking about something a bit nefarious, alluding to something, and he just turns to Tim Webb, who was sitting next to him at the time, and daps up Tim, and Derek and Coach were losing it. I was dying laughing because Michael Irvin has no fucking idea who Tim Webb is.
Yeah.
No idea who Copes and Derek are. Even less of an idea who Tim Webb is.
Yeah.
And he just looked at Tim, he's like, hell yeah.
Just this goofy white guy.
They dapped up so much to the point where we made like one of our sillier socials of the week of that. Of them just dapping up, and I would remember dying and being like I remember Derek said like, did we clip that? That's the highlight of the week, and I kind of agreed.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Dave Portnoy. Bit of a controversial one because 1, he's controversial, and 2, the interview itself wasn't that great. But being
I liked his stuff on the Tadich Grill.
That's true. Save the Tadich Grill. Shout out to him for that. But just the fact that it's just being a little selfish, I like went and got him from the NBC Boston set, and I like wrangled him, and I was like, please come on our show, and I felt like he like looked at me like we were talking about earlier, people being like, everyone just wants something from me. But in that moment, he was like, all right, man. And I basically like did all but like nudge him the 30 or so feet to our booth while like trying to fend him off from people being kicked off. So that one was a personal favorite of mine, just selfishly. And it wasn't a bad interview, but it wasn't the best interview of the weekend. Third is Mad Dog Russo, San Francisco native, I believe. He's a Giants fan.
Was a Giants? I thought he was a Giants fan because of
New York.
New York.
My gosh, that could be true. He's old enough.
Yeah, he's from New York.
Oh, he's from New York.
He grew up
New
on
York
Giants.
Native. I don't know why Austin says.
When was he born?
San
Go back.
Francisco native.
When was he born?
I don't know. I deleted my tab.
Right.
Thanks for asking late.
Well, he's either a Giants fan because he was still around when they were in New York, but he probably wasn't.
66 years old.
Okay, so he wasn't like he was pretty damn young when they were still in.
No, he wasn't born. He was
58.
born in 60, or 61.
You got the country right, San Francisco.
So he must be a Giants fan because probably like his dad and grandpa were Giants fans.
Probably, yeah. And famously in 2002 ranted about the Giants never winning one. He was a great interview though. Gave great insight on the Giants, gave great insight on the Niners, and gave great insight on the media realm as a whole. I've kind of always pictured him as a very entertaining but kind of a one square like rah rant guy, and he was super intellectual, and I really appreciate it.
Kind of on a time crunch too. Like he was only with us for 10 minutes.
And then it was funny after the interview. He said to Murph Mac, he's like, "You guys did great job. You guys are really good at what you do." And Murph was like,
"Yeah." He like gave them approval for the interview.
Murph was like, "Hell yeah." Chris Berman's fourth, another legend. Seeing him in person was very cool.
Another San Francisco guy. Yeah, he's a legend. Home run derby.
Almost a NFL Live for decades.
Yeah.
Almost highlights. Was the voice of the Giants.
Halftime highlights.
Yep.
He might have been the biggest. I think him and Harlan were the biggest legends. He's probably bigger than Harlan even.
5. Kevin Harlan.
Yeah.
What a segue.
Yeah, Kevin Harlan, who's also a broadcasting legend, and him realizing that Derek Papa was Greg Papa's son mid-interview was hilarious. And I guess Derek imitated his dad and went, "Harlan," and Harlan goes, "Papa!"
Yeah, that was fantastic.
That was really funny too. So those are my top 5. Austin.
Crazy snub on your end, by the way. I'm going to start with Frank Caliendo. I mean, dude, that was
great.
I just remember, I think, because did you try to go up to him the same day or the day before? We were trying to get him for specifically.
I went up to his handler.
Okay.
I think you got him right at the source.
I just went, because Copes and D-Pop specifically were like, man, it'd be really cool to have Frank Caliendo on. And like, I went up to him at like 4 p.m. His day was basically done. And like, he has KNBR Connects doing stuff with Razor T and Tolbert. So he's like, yeah, I'm in. And like, he came over and gave us like 15, 20 minutes. And more than half of the interview is just him doing probably over 10 to 15 different impressions. It was just awesome.
What do you guys even know? Like, because you guys didn't come up knowing Frank Caliendo.
Not really. I wasn't too familiar.
I knew him. I've done. I guess like he's been as someone who like is
doing like
the early
Fox NFL Sunday stuff.
and like Gruden. I've just
early
seen, like,
Gruden
someone,
ESPN
I'm
stuff.
chronically online. I figured out who he was, but you're
Yeah.
right, I was not in his prime with the
when-
Mad TV days.
When I was a kid in the early, like I wouldn't say maybe like 99 to like it might have been like 01 to 06, early 2000s, Mad TV was a thing, and it was sort of like the alternative to Saturday Night Live, and I think it was just on Comedy Central, and I don't think it was actually live, but it was sort of the I guess a little edgier Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And Frank Caliendo was one of the big stars, aren't stars, but he was no one on that show was a real star, but he was one of the big players on it, and he would do like a Charles Barkley impression and a Bill, all his impressions. And then he had his own show called Frank TV. It was kind of like an SNL sketch show, but just him playing different characters. And then he's kind of started to get into the sports
What's your
world.
second one, Austin?
Well, I could keep going on Frank Caliendo.
We got a show to do. A lot of crossover
Christ,
here. We got
fucking play the
Mike.
music.
We got Michael Irvin. Like
Just going through Frank Caliendo's history.
Yeah, Jesus.
I could do that all day.
Wrap it up.
So after Frank TV,
Yeah. Frank was just a boy.
yeah, born in Missouri.
no, I got Irvin on here too. The whole White House like thing with Copes and Papa and the Tim Webb dab up. I mean, that might be the interview of the week. Like just like the amount of like just adrenaline that came from that interview and just kind of went from like 0 to 100. Because that was a late afternoon interview, by the way. That was like a 3:30, vibes kind of lowering down, and then Michael Irvin comes on, and it's just like everyone's spirits like just lifted up. It was hilarious.
We needed the pick me up.
Yeah. Mad Dog on there as well. I remember the end of the Mad Dog interview, the Seize Candy day. Like he tried a Seize Candy. He did the blind taste test, and the whole bit was like, so Copes and Derek had to like, Mad Dog had to describe what chocolate he was having, and then Copes and Derek had to like guess what chocolate it was based off of like what Mad Dog's description of it was. And Copes and Derek guessed the candy, and Mad Dog screams out, he's like, "Let's go, I got it right." And Copes is like, "No, like we got it right."
Yeah.
I don't know. He didn't really get the bit, but it was funny. Yeah, I thought Mad Dog was cool. I put Kurt Warner on there just because, like, I think Kurt Warner being such a Brock stan makes having Kurt on cool because he just loves Brock, and I thought that was a good interview. And then I got Kevin Harlan on there too. So a lot of crossover, but
Right.
Chris Berman's a good one too. I didn't get that on there.
I'm bummed I didn't get Caliendo. You're bummed you didn't get Berman.
Yeah.
Water under the bridge.
All right, so your job is to think of 5 people that aren't on this list.
Caliendo.
And there you
Yeah.
go.
Caliendo.
So you can just copy us. That's fine.
Yeah. No, I talked about
Caliendo's
it.
Wikipedia page over there.
Yeah, I mean Caliendo, Berman, and Harlan were my top 3 for sure.
It's top 5.
I know,
So
but
you
I don't. I think we can probably move
Portnoy?
on
You're
from
a
the
big
segment.
Portnoy guy.
I'm not a big Portnoy guy.
So Portnoy's my list 4th.
And then 5th was Mike Silver.
There you go, yeah.
Twice.
Mike Silver, Matt Mayoko, Dieter.
Yes. Actually, I'm going to go Dieter 5.
Dude, Dieter's a great guest.
Yep.
Hope one day Dieter
Yep.
can sit in this chair. But he said he would. He laughed at me when I asked if he would come to Daly City to do the show. But maybe he's getting a little more traction, and Dieter comes in.
Should we wrap it up or should we go 10? I think we wrap it up.
I think we wrap it up.
All right.
No one cares about our trivial
Yeah.
troubles.
How do we wrap this up?
The existence of this is kind of a indicator of the dark tent.
Yeah. All right. Well, that wraps up episode 2 of the Off Air Podcast. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Adam Copeland.
Thank you, Adam
Mari,
Copeland.
as always.
Thank you, Mari, and thank you, this room.
Yeah. Thank you, Frank Caliendo.
Yeah.
Frank Caliendo's parents.
Thanks, Frank Caliendo. Thanks, Frank TV,
Yep.
Mad TV,
Thanks for the Kona Big Wave. That was
kind of big wave.
Listen,
We
like
went
the
through.
big-
Oh, we have
very
one more.
successful-
We have one
Very
more.
successful beer episode.
Yeah.
Stay tuned next week for maybe Greg Papa.
Yeah, and maybe an IPA for Austin as well. Maybe we'll move up to the next level.
Pump the brakes. Off air.
all right.